Hello, I'm Joe Lynch, President of the Board of Directors of the Somerville Media Center. On behalf of the board and the staff, I hope you are all doing well and weathering these unprecedented times. We sincerely wish you health and peace in the coming months. This year, our awards ceremony is unlike any we have ever done. As some of you may remember, last year we had a sellout crowd at the Arts at the Armory for the 2019 awards, and proudly, it was the best attended and most financially rewarding. Today, however, due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, we will sadly miss such a gathering. But that will not stop us from honoring and highlighting what we, our members and staff, collectively do here at the Media Center. And so it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Somerville Media Center 2020 Awards and Honors Program. Congratulations to all the recipients, and please consider supporting the Somerville Media Center with any contribution you can afford. Your contributions will help us to continue to learn, create, and share. We hope you enjoyed the show. Stay safe, everyone, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Mayor Joe Curtatone, and it is my pleasure to be with you at this virtual celebration of the 2020 Somerville Media Center Annual Awards. But before I get into my remarks, I would like to say a few words about these unprecedented times we collectively find ourselves in 2020. As a community, we will continue, albeit in a very different way, to recognize and celebrate the diverse range of talent in the media arts. The Somerville Media Center, after 36 years of community-led media production and education, and despite the COVID pandemic, has quickly and effectively continued their mission, providing to the Somerville public a place to learn, create, and share. The wide range of media makers, from producers and directors, show hosts, informational media, poets, writers, visual artists, technicians, editors, radio and podcast creators and hosts, media educators, and more, is truly astounding. This program will recognize the best of the best for their work during 2019. Although the awards were postponed by the COVID pandemic, the Media Center was determined to recognize their members and others with well-deserved honors. And speaking of honors, I would also like to congratulate State Representative Denise Provo, this year's recipient of the Special Honor for Excellence in Public Service, and to my good friend Howard Horton, one of the original managers and founder of Somerville Public Access Television Station, then known as SCATV. Howard is this year's recipient of the Eugene Brune Founders Award. My sincere congratulations to both. And so with all that we face today, I am so pleased to congratulate all the award recipients and to say a special thank you to the staff and board of directors at the Somerville Media Center for your continued dedication to the Somerville community. Have a great show, everyone, and please stay safe and healthy.
To our friends at Somerville Media Center, my name's David Middleton. I'm General Manager here at Assembly Row, and I personally want to thank everyone at Somerville Media Center for recognizing Federal Realty and Assembly Row as this year's recipient for Outstanding Community Partner Award. Vox Pop to date has been the best pop-up we've had here at Assembly. It brought the community closer together, and it also put the lights on in a space that otherwise would have been dark. We appreciate everyone's effort in making the Vox Pop a success and truly exemplifying how a strong partnership in a strong community like Somerville can come together and all work. We appreciate it again, value your partnership, and we hope to work with you in the future. Until then, stay safe and be well. Thanks again.
Here, the Youth Media Program Director and Boston Radio Station Manager at Somerville Media Center, and I am so excited to be honoring a very incredible young person, Zoe Barnett, for the Youth Media Leader Award this evening. Zoe has always been a central part of our community ever since they first started coming to SMC about 3 years ago. They've made it clear that SMC is a place that feels like home to them. And what they've done at Somerville Media Center in being involved in our youth programming over the years has been taking on more and more leadership and responsibility within our programming to make sure that it feels like home for all young people who come through our doors. And especially over this past year, Zoe definitely donated at least 100 hours of their time as a volunteer, working in our after-school programs, helping out as a CIT, showing up early to set up the room, staying late to make sure I had help breaking everything down. That kind of stuff is really special to see in a young person, and they've always made it clear that it's because they want to give back to this community that they felt has given so much to them. They've been super involved in organizing Disaster Piece Theater, and they were a teen media leader this past summer where they actually got paid as an employee to work in our summer camp online, Summer Camp 2020, our free online summer camp for youth in Somerville, when they actually were in charge of teaching classes and editing video so that it could be accessible to all young people. And they continue to just amaze me and surprise me every day, again, with their commitment to making Somerville Media Center and our youth program an inclusive, empowering space for all young people. So I want to say thank you to Zoe, and thank you to everybody else for supporting Somerville Media Center and our youth programming. Congratulations.
Guys, we're really offbeat here. Shut up, you tasteless. Do you even know how to play your instrument?
But your mic isn't even plugged in.
Your mic's not even plugged in. Meh. Shut up, Nick.
Yeah, shut up, Nick.
You're tuning into 105.8 The Fuzz, New Hampshire's only source of rock and roll content. We're here today with the newest laughingstock of the greater Nashville area, Trash Sultans. We'll be discussing their latest EP, Burning Chapstick.
Thank you, The Fuzz.
That is not my name.
So you're Trash Sultan as previously stated.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that really made us look so good.
Shut up, Will. Stop being so negative. Anyway, our reputation is ruined.
I mean, all 5 of our t-shirts did sell out.
Hi, my name is Ruth Teixeira, and I'm the director and one of the writers for the SMC production Trash Sultan. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving us this award, and I also just want to say thank you to SMC for giving us this opportunity to create in the first place, because couldn't have made anything without SMC and the amazing people who work there, like Heather McCormick. It's just such a great opportunity to be able to create, and that you guys entrust us with this equipment just to make something with it. And I really value that. I appreciate it.
Good evening. Welcome to Dead Air Live.
Do you think there really are people who came from a different planet?
Yes.
Have you ever met any?
No.
Do you think you will meet some?
No.
Ethnic minorities, women, young people, poor people. I mean, people were just getting together and trying to organize them.
I think the question is, where does Somerville want to be when that happens? Does it want to be a great place to live, work, and play, where people want to go to? Or does it just want to be the nearest strip mall to the big city?
Oh, I'm on. Hey, wonderful. Dead Air Live. Really live. Well, welcome. This is the Hot Tamale Brass Band. I hope you've been enjoying the show. We've been having a great time in the studio. I've been on camera and actually dancing, which you're not supposed to do with a camera.
I will have a little bit of questions. I will ask the questions and you will provide the answers. So you must listen very carefully, yeah?
When you look at someone's bike, you'll say, okay, is it the air in the tire?
We see all manner of bikes. Sometimes people actually bring us bikes that are in pieces.
Really?
Especially kids. They get hopeful about seeing something in somebody else's trash.
Somebody's waving at me. I think the speaker's on up there, but I don't care. Anyway. Hi.
And sometimes you win some money.
Stop at a number? You win some money?
The number.
Yeah.
What makes me wonder, where does the money come from?
Well, I've got a right to be pissed. Really? What gives you that right? I'm a philanthropist.
I wrote that, but I still like it.
So today we're here in front of Somerville Media Center, and we are introducing Dead Air Live as the longest live running TV show in America.
Well, cable TV show.
Cable TV show. We're 4 months longer than Saturday Night Live, so I would say that we're the longest. Anyway, we've been awarded a citation from the Senate for endurance, hard work. And Charlie has been with the group since 1975. Charlie?
Yeah. Well, it's really great to get this award, but we wouldn't be here without all the people who came before us and did the hard work of organizing in the city and producing programs. It started out in '74, actually. Public access first started in Somerville in 1974. And it was a new thing. Cable TV was new at the time, and one of the provisions at the federal level for cable TV was that they had to provide time for people in the community to use some of the channel space, because it was such a huge increase in channel space over broadcast, right? And to myself and lots of other people, we saw this as an incredible opportunity to get voices out there that weren't being heard otherwise, that the broadcast media just weren't dealing with, and to do stuff that was local to the community. And that's what people started to do. Carrie Siniago was hired to be the first public access coordinator. Her job was to help people in the neighborhoods produce programs using the studio and other equipment at Warner, what was then Warner Cable Studio, Warner Cable. She got fired by Warner's for advocating for the rights of the local producers, because pretty much the first thing that Warner's did was try to kill off public access by kind of benign neglect, where they just neglected to maintain the equipment. So it was at the state where you couldn't actually use their equipment to produce your own show, right? So we went out and got one of these. This is the first original portable black and white video recorder, reel to reel, half an hour, and pretty low quality black and white recording. But
did you edit on this?
You can't edit with this, no.
Okay.
That's just a recorder.
It's just a recorder. Okay, what do I know?
Just a recorder. We put together our own editing system so that we could actually produce stuff. So that was our field production.
All right.
And then there was the studio. It had 2 cameras in it, and they were color cameras. Very, very interesting colors at the time. Now this was, 75. What Terry did, though, was she started to organize the community and get people involved in seeing what the politics of cable was, and how it was being played out, and etc., and organizing around it. So one of the first things they did was they tried to raise the rates, the subscription rates. And so,
okay.
So the group did a campaign against that, a petition campaign and stuff. But anyway, so people were involved in the idea of access to the television media, and so the group itself and some of the people started to produce this show, right? And that was Dave Bigley was the original host of Dead Air Live. Barry McQuilkin was one of the main producers, who brought it together. And Bob Matoran was very big at the time, very active. He was involved in labor and prison organizing and all of that kind of stuff. So there was a lot of dimensions that different people brought to the group. And that went on for quite a while. That first kind of wave of people went off to do other things. Dave Bigley left to found the Boston office of Greenpeace. Barry McQuilkin got a real job and stuff like that. Things got kind of quiet for a little while. We were kind of struggling to keep it going. Greg Hill was doing shows on labor and stuff like that. And then Elizabeth Peabody House had a youth program. He hired a guy named John Pennington to do a video program there, which was actually a continuation of the program that he started, that Al Bohr had started with Barry McQuilkin. So Barry McQuilkin did that first. Pennington came in. Then part of Pennington's job was to help renovate our group.
Oh, okay.
So he was there, being paid to recruit people and get people involved. And so that was like 1980, and that was the beginning of really the long term. It was pretty stable for a long time.
Pretty long-winded today.
And Larry Yeager.
Oh, he's fabulous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Steve Shorbloom, they were our two main editors for many, many years, and very creative. They did a lot of really great
Larry
stuff.
Yeager has the most hits on our YouTube channel for Dead Air Live that has well over 1 million hits, 832 subscribers.
Lauren Greenberg.
Laurel Greenberg joined
yes,
the group, and
very talented.
she was very talented. She's still producing a lot of stuff and teaching video. Martha Mollison, was a long, long time ago, was a member of the group. She learned everything about doing video with us, and then she became public access director of a couple of stations. She lives in Australia now.
And let's not forget one of the best producers of our group, Ricardo Pineda.
Media Center, we have an amazing opportunity to be here representing many of us in this wonderful open doors for speak up and say what your heart desires and produce messages that embrace our communities in many languages, not only Spanish nor in English, in all languages that is relevant to Somerville and the world. So thank you, Jojo, for your amazing project on putting together hundreds of shows online, archiving them. She's been an amazing asset for our group. Charlie, nevertheless, an amazing producer as well as talented technician. So we have come together to produce and go on with this Lifetime Achievement Award that the city has offered us to encourage more of our viewers to continue and keep growing this momentum and never stop forming groups of support. Hola, mi nombre es Ricardo Pineda, soy miembro de Somerville Producers Group y de nuestro maravilloso programa llamado en inglés Dead Air Live, que es uno de los programas que han corrido en nuestros canales de televisión más antiguo. Es un programa que tiene muchas raíces en muchos idiomas y especialmente en español, que tiene una gran fuerza en esta ciudad de Somerville. Quiero invitar a los que hablamos español y los que tenemos las ganas de hablar acerca de nuestras raíces, nuestras propias actitudes o opiniones, y que vengan aquí a Somerville Media Center a tener esa parte que puede ser, que vengan aquí a Somerville a utilizar las instalaciones que son gratuitas y que nos permiten abrir las puertas al mundo exterior. Muchas gracias.
2020, during COVID, I have been keeping the torch alive, doing Zoom TV shows / my podcast, Somerville Connects. So for anyone in the world that wants to do a TV show, it's still possible. Just contact Jojo Laricia, jojo118@me.com, and we'll make it happen. We will make it happen to keep Dead Air alive in Somerville, Cambridge, and Boston, and all around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Henry Parker Presents.
You don't just affect the inmate, you're affecting the family of the inmate, right? So like, my dad went to prison, my mom was affected, my sister was affected, I was affected, which could alter the course of my dad's grandchildren, right? Which can go on and go on and go on. You're altering the future of people's lives by having this prehistoric criminal justice system.
So there's a lot of change I would like to see. I was born and raised in Boston. I know the history of Boston, and I know that Boston has been known as a racist city, and I believe that it is.
I mean, we are trained in conflict resolution.
and conflict mediation.
We're not out there to tell our young people what to do. Right. Come on, Cat. Right. We have not earned their respect yet.
That's right.
We believe with love and kindness, we would draw them to a better way of life.
You know, me and my 13 years of experience, I haven't went through a lot of struggles, but the struggle, I guess the struggles, not the struggles, but the setbacks.
No matter what the test you're going through right now, it's an occasion for you to use it in the future as your testimony. So don't be concerned about the clouds that may be billowing around you, because there is a silver lining. God doesn't give us anything that He doesn't give us the strength to overcome.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Henry Parker. I am the 2019 Outstanding Producer Award for SCAT. And first of all, do I deserve this award? Yes, I do. What's a man that doesn't blow his own horn? But that's just in jest. But first of all, on a serious note, I'd like to dedicate this year's award to my late mother, Jean Parker, and to all ancestors known and unknown. I'd also like special recognition to the host of the CD Storm Show, Brother Carol Smith. I could not have won this award without him. And with that, I would like to say to the general public and all those in TV land, thank you very much.
I have discovered something amazing. How can you ever possibly hope to attain happiness if you don't know how to find it inside of yourself? People always ask me what I want to do with my life. I'm looking for a job as a laugh track. Just by placing my hands here. One type of laughter, another type of laughter, another type of laughter, another type of laughter. I just showed you 5 different styles of laughter. Do we have a live audience over here? My name is Jimmy Stewart. Now, I'm an actor. And I just want to tell you that I did not teach Porky Pig how to talk. I don't mind acting stupid. People have a need to feel intelligent and loving. I provide that service. Everybody loves an idiot. I have over a dozen different ways of laughing. Top part of my throat, middle, lower, middle of my chest, tummy laugh, rib laughter. Now, why would anybody want to learn to do so many different things? Because I like to experience life, and then I like to write and perform about different things that I notice. They take 40% of the salary for their service, and they called us crooks. Will Rogers said that he never met a person he did not like. You can think like that if you don't meet too many people. A flying insect lands on a leaf, patiently rubs its bottom against the surface. Life is tough when you have no access to toilet paper. When you do, life is charming. That's funny.
Our first special award, the 2020 Excellence in Public Service, is presented to State Representative Denise Provo. Representative Provo will be retiring from the Massachusetts House of Representatives at the end of 2020. Over the years, she has consistently demonstrated her deep commitment and dedication, not only to public service, but in particular to the Somerville Media Center's mission to provide a voice to the voiceless. And for that, we are truly grateful. I've known Denise Provo for over 2 decades, first as an elected alderman here in Somerville, and later as the state representative from the 27th Middlesex District on Beacon Hill. And during that time, there are 2 words that I consistently use to describe her: compassion and honesty. Denise Provo was fighting for the environment, open and transparent government, immigrant rights, LGBTQ rights, housing and transportation issues long before they became fashionable. And she weathered a lot of criticism for those stands. This compassionate and honest woman, wife, mom, friend, activist, government servant, is the 2020 Somerville Media Center Excellence in Public Service Honor recipient. Congratulations, Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise Provo, State Representative for Somerville. Union Square is a showcase for public art, some of it of the eminently usable kind. The neighborhood restaurant doesn't just have great food. Look what a beautiful spot this is. Would you know that you're in the middle of the most densely populated city in New England? In another few weeks, these grapes will smell intoxicating. And I'm welcoming you today to SCATV's special coverage of the proposed MBTA fare increases and service cuts. I've spent my entire adult life working for the integrity of government, to protect the taxpayers and to support the rule of law and to make sure that government is adopting good and beneficial policies that reflect the overall will of the people. I voted against the very bad solar net metering bill that came before the House last November. I voted to keep term limits for the Speaker. You can't exercise that kind of independence and expect to get extra goodies from leadership. Those are reserved for people who fall in line more than I am willing to do. What I hope to see is more public awareness of and enjoyment of the Mystic River. People are delighted to discover that the river is there and that it's so beautiful. And, you know, they come to see the ducks and the swans and to bike or walk. You see the big sky and the beautiful landscape and the horizon. Many people fish on the river. Many of them don't know that the Department of Public Health back in around 2007 determined that it was unsafe to eat fish caught in the Mystic. It's something that I hope will change and that I know can change. You know, there will be state elections, including a governor's race next year. So people shouldn't hesitate to sign up because there's always something to vote for. SCATV, or as it was at the time, invited every candidate in every race to come in and tape a short message, which was a great equalizer. You know, it enabled me to get introduce myself and get my message out to the same audience as every other candidate. And I thought, wow, you know, the existence of such a community resource has unlimited potential and really does actualize, you know, the concept of a marketplace of ideas, of the free exchange of ideas, even if they are not approved by official sources of authority. SCATV represents what's best about telecommunications in America. Grassroots, democratic, free expression. That is part of the strength. That is the fiber of our community. That's what makes us who we are, and there's no replacing that. No corporation in the world can do that. So bravo, SCATV, and keep going.
Thank you, Joe. And thanks to everyone connected to the Somerville Media Center. I'm honored to be recognized by an organization so close to the spirit of Somerville in all of its creativity and irreverence and thoughtfulness. It's fashionable in some circles to disparage the media. But it's important to recognize that the Somerville Media Center is not corporate media, it's community media. The Somerville Media Center allows us to talk to each other about the things that are most important to us, and everyone can add their voices. That's the spirit of community media. It's a treasure that's available to us all, and we can all add our voices. And I am thrilled to be recognized tonight by the Somerville Media Center.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Taxi here for another episode of Future Perfect. I got my man Byron the Poe with me.
What up? What up? It's okay. You can quote it.
Hey, I got my man Zan with the lean Zanza.
You know what those Virgos? Virgos swear they're right all the time. Are you? Which one are you? No, you keep peeping.
He gave you that look now, like, Nick.
Yo, you'll go outside, right? I'm like, yo, the sky is blue. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, it's dark outside, blah, blah, blah. They walk outside, I'm like, yo, I told you before it was blue. Now it's dark. They'll argue with you until it's dark. I'm like, yo, it's dark now. I told you. We talked about this 12 hours ago.
We are the perfect future. We bring social commentary to music, gaming, and a little bit of comedy to match with that too. So welcome to the perfect future.
Yeah.
Hey.
Here on a very personal note, like I experienced it in my own house, like watching my mother go through like depression. You know what I mean? And it's a real thing. Like typically most people would lean on the church, but I mean, as we know, like the church is in a very questionable state within the black community in many ways, you know? And I mean, when you don't have that pillar, which used to be sort of your place of refuge in moments where you're dealing with something, man, I mean, and then your family's not really there because of course we know the disenfranchisement and the fragmentation of the black community is not, you know, present. Like, where do you go?
Still stand on any animal that stands up on its 2 feet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Byron the Poet here. I just want to say thank you for the nomination. This is an amazing honor coming from the Somerville Media Center that, you know, creates a platform for so many creatives. And, you know, for our group to honor me as on-air personality of the year, I mean, that's a phenomenal honor because there are so many other great creators in that space alone. I mean, including my co-host, Zanza and Tax, who, you know, make Future Perfect what it is today. I just want to say once more, thank you. I am no island in this. Again, I really, really appreciate my crew, and I appreciate all the people who helped me at the Somerville Media Center, whether it's fixing my levels or, you know, just the weird conversations that make it on air on the mic. I just want to say thank you all, and I appreciate your consideration. I hope you all are safe and well in quarantine. Take care.
It is the 1970s, the advent of new technology building on the age of television. Cable TV has enabled tens of thousands to ditch the rabbit ear antennas, and through the magic of a single wire in your home, you are free of static and lost reception. And you now have dozens of new stations to watch. One of those new TV stations was to become known as public access television. And working on those efforts was this year's Eugene C. Brune Honor and Founders Award recipient, Howard Horton. By the late 1970s and into the 1980s, Howard Horton is on the move in Somerville. He is the founder of Somerville's Education Channel, the City of Somerville's Director of Communications, working closely with then Mayor Gene Brune. And with Gene Brune, Howard negotiates and crafts the first of its kind agreements with the cable companies in Massachusetts. Those agreements provided the community with 3 public television channels: public, educational, and government. Somerville Community Access Television was born. It took a lot of hard work, vision for the community, and a lot of business savvy to get the cable companies to pay for locally operated and programmed television. And we have Howard Horton to thank for that. Through Howard's and Mayor Brune's efforts, Somerville Community Access Television in 1984 came to fruition. And simply put, it would not exist without Howard and Gene. Howard went on to a notable career in business and academia, serving in leadership roles at the New England Institute of Art, Bay State College, the New England College of Business. Howard now serves as the executive director of the New England Institute of Business at Cambridge College. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the 2020 Somerville Media Center Eugene C. Brune Honor and Founders Award, Howard Horton. Congratulations, Howard.
We said, hey, we have an opportunity to do something special, to give voice to people in Somerville by creating a channel, which was provided for by the FCC, had put the new regulations in and said, if you have a modern cable system, you need to provide some access channels. And the public access channel was considered a first come, first serve, almost like a soapbox.
That's right.
And I went to you and I said, Gene, why don't we take, well, probably didn't call you Gene then, I think I called you Mayor, because we were, but I think we said, why don't we look at the possibility of putting the operations of public access in the hands of the community by creating a nonprofit corporation.
That's right.
And taking that function away from the cable company.
Exactly.
And you said, that sounds great. And I think I said to you, and I'd like to see the board in a way that it's not controlled by City Hall.
Sure.
So that it was really, you don't want to have a chilling effect on what people can say.
And I said, that sounds great.
And you said yes.
Because City Hall sometimes spoils things.
Exactly. And I'm sure there are times, and I know of some incidents where there were attempts to stop programs from going on this channel, and you might have had to say, I don't control that. I think that there's not a truer First Amendment forum, because you're really talking about a forum where within the bounds of the law, but it's very broad. You can't say that the city's on fire, that kind of thing. But you can talk about any issue, you can talk about any idea, you can talk about any cultural thing, and you're not edited, you're not subject to censorship.
Right.
You're not under the editorial control of somebody else. So that's really a fantastic thing to have in the city.
Yeah.
Before 72, there were no access channels, there was just network. Then you had cable with access, and now social media. We have to recognize that it's a critical piece of our communications complex, but people need training about how to use it, and that's part of what goes on at the Media Center. Responsible use, and I think that's something that we want to support. Yeah, and thanks to the Somerville Media Center for it's a great organization, and it is worthwhile to support. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joe, and thanks to the Media Center. This is such a great honor for me tonight because of the respect I have for the Somerville Media Center and the critical mission it has in our community, but also because the award is named for a really great guy, a great leader, Mayor Gene Brune, whom I had the privilege of working for and working with in the 1980s. In fact, it was Mayor Brune whose understanding and his vision is directly responsible for laying the foundation for the Media Center. Back in 1980, we began to discuss what's the best way to manage the public access channel? Because at the time it was operated by the cable company and it wasn't used well, and they were not that interested in it. So we decided it would be a lot better to put it in the hands of a nonprofit, community-based organization, and we established SCAT, Somerville Community Access Television Incorporated. Little did we know at the time that we were going to establish a trend. In the decades that followed, there was a proliferation of nonprofit access and media centers, which formed throughout Massachusetts and even nationally to take on the task of making access television work better. So that's a real testament to the leadership of our city. You know, we even got to a tipping point where cable companies who originally resisted community access corporations no longer wanted to be in the business. Even they recognized that media centers just did the job better. And back in the pre-internet days, without the access channels, there really wasn't a good vehicle for the smaller, more focused voice, for the artistic interest or the underrepresented group. The broadcast channels didn't care, and neither did the cable companies. But we had SCAT, and eventually SCAT became the media center with all its offshoots. So it's a great legacy. And particularly what I'm proud of in terms of the media center and getting this award is the training that's done in media literacy. Because whether it's the internet or cable, people know how to use the tools and exercise their First Amendment rights. So thanks again very much for this honor. It's so gratifying to me to see that 40 years later, there's this much activity. I want to thank Joe and the board of the Media Center and the staff, and really to all the volunteers who make it such a special place. Thank you very much for this honor, and best of luck in the future for the continuation of Somerville Media Center.
Do we have a show for y'all? I am, of course, Nick, and this is Nick Does a Think. We are going to go live in just a moment here on YouTube, but for those of you at home in Somerville, you are getting an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the prep work that goes into creating such a high-level, high-production, skilled, amazing show. This is a list on Wikipedia. This is a list of neo-Nazi groups all around the world that still exist. However, if you scroll down to the defunct neo-Nazi section, which is actually so long that it cuts off at a certain point, because white supremacy, as I've said before, is a nonsense group, and it's a nonsense religion, essentially. There's no sense to be had from white supremacy, and if you're a white supremacist, I'm not mad at you, but I'm very confused by you, and luckily you are too, so we can get along, and we have common ground there. They don't have a lot of people in their lives to turn to them and be like, hey, this isn't cool. This is Nick Does a Think. I am Nick Schweitzer. I just felt like saying it again.
This is the part of the show where we dance. Got shanked. You got the shank.
No. Wait, no. None of you are saying the right thing.
Thank you.
Ken, I love it when you talk about disco.
I'm a huge fan of disco. And the Bee Gees transformed American society, and they made it acceptable for everybody to dance?
George Lucas, before he made Star Wars, made a movie called THX 1138. And supposedly the Misfits song We Are 138 is a little bit based on that. So
here we go!
All right, here we go. Whoa, 1, 2, oh my God, tonight might be the night. Oh, 3. Oh, these are beautiful.
Hey, can we get 138 back here? Because they have to play another song.
Hey.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Villains Den. I'm your host, Chris Haskell.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Here with me, as always, is Noah Tompkins.
What up, y'all?
Kali Sarter Damari. And our newest member of the team, Alexis. Say hello, Alexis.
Oh, hello there.
I love Shrek. It's a part of our nostalgia. It really is.
It be like that.
It do.
It be like that. It do. You conformist.
One of the most memorable points of the trip was early on in Quebec City. It was I stayed with a couch surfer for 3 nights who was a gay nudist, and it was a very small apartment. So the guy was really, yeah, it was really interesting.
Dude, we could probably. I have a feeling we could talk about this the entire show.
No, he was Canadian, but he's like way up, yeah, French Canadian.
Bring me out to dry. Throw me to the wolves so you know you love when you see me cry. It gives you your favorite looks.
Hey everybody, I don't have Elsa with me, so I'm trying to make do as best I can. Hey, I just wanted to thank SMC on behalf of myself and the rest of the Heavy Leather cast and crew for this wonderful award and honor that you've bestowed upon us. I want to just say that it's been an incredible 3 years doing the Heavy Leather Topless Dance Party with you guys. It's just so much. It's every moment of it was just pure joy, and I got to thank you guys for your patience and for your expertise and for the equipment and everything else. It's been just fantastic and wonderful, and we love you all very much, and we will never forget the experience. And of course, sorry for all the blood and the booze and drugs and nudity, but it was all obviously part of the process. Thank you again. Thank you for this award and the honor, and we hope to see you guys sometime again down the line somewhere. Thanks.
In the winter 2020 edition of What's New Massachusetts, get a sneak peek of the Boston Science Fiction Film Festival at the Somerville Theater. We also chat with Leandra Sharon, the Assistant Festival Director. We also give details on the upcoming Plymouth Paracon 2020. What's New Massachusetts? Here's your host, Sam Baltrusis.
And welcome to the winter edition of What's New Massachusetts. My name is Sam Baltrusis. I'm an author and journalist. Joining me for this special winter edition is Leandra Sharon. Hey!
Hello, thanks for having me.
So we're going to talk about the Sci-Fi Film Festival.
Great.
And so tell me, how did you get involved with the Sci-Fi Film Festival in Boston?
So I'm just a huge sci-fi fan in general, and when I moved here, I think I saw something about it the Somerville Theater is the closest theater to my house, and I had been there, saw a poster for it, decided that I love science fiction, so might as well try and volunteer for the festival. Volunteering is a great way to get free tickets to festivals without having to pay for it. So yeah, figured that would be a good idea. I volunteered for 1 year, and then within the course of the next year became the assistant director. Pretty quick progression.
Yeah. Well, so when it comes to that, like, how has the festival changed since you've been on board?
That is a great question.
Hey, this is Alfred Sambal-Trusis. I want to thank you for the award for Best Live Informational Show for my syndicated show called What's New Massachusetts. What's New Massachusetts has been something that I've been doing since 2016. I first started when I worked at Malden Access Television and brought it over November 2017 to Somerville Media Center, and it's been syndicated on 45 stations nationwide. Can you believe that? What's New Massachusetts is been a passion of mine. I've had multiple co-hosts, but I've had one director throughout the entire 5-year run, and that is Michael Cotrera. Mike, I want to thank you so much for your patience and for your expertise as the director of What's New Massachusetts. It really has made the show what it is today. So speaking of What's New Massachusetts, unfortunately, we've been on hiatus during the COVID lockdown, but I'm hoping that after things get better in our society, that What's New Massachusetts can make a comeback and we'll be stronger than ever, hopefully in 2021. So thank you for this award, and thank you, Somerville Media Center.
Hi there, I'm humbled and grateful to be awarded with 2 honors this evening, the SMC Best BFR Show and SMC Volunteer of the Year. Working with the Somerville Media Center has truly opened my eyes to the radical power of community-driven media. Spaces like BFR have allowed me to hone my craft as a DJ in Boston and blast positive bass tones into the great internet void once a week, which I think is pretty awesome. It has allowed me to interview and play with countless DJs, clubgoers, and music makers alike, especially emphasizing the plethora of queer, trans, and non-binary talent in the Boston area. Community media centers play a vital role in centering the diverse voices of the people. I'll end my short speech tonight with a quote by one of my favorite authors, Audre Lorde. "Without community, there is no liberation." Thank you.
What's good, y'all? The indefinable Sterling Golden is in the building. This is the Chop Session, and we thank you once again for locking in here on BostonFreeRadio.com for our series. And by the way, y'all, in case you forgot, in case you need a reminder, if you miss an episode or you lock in late, say no more, fam. We got you. Encore uploads of each Chop Session episode happen Monday mornings at 6 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. So check your favorite podcast app for listings. Wherever you rock with podcasts, we got you with encores of each Chop Session episode, including the one you're about to rock with here today. And by the way, y'all, one more thing. Thank y'all for your support and for the love with our recent nomination for the 2020 SMC Honors for the Chop Session. Nominated for Best BFR Podcast, even though this is a radio situation, but hey, we'll take the love. How's that? Okay. So, speaking of love, man, let's show love right now. Ladies, get ready. He's in the building. Mr. R&B, Ray Royale. Get that mic close, man, because the ladies want to get close to you. And
What's
here he is.
going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hey, Mr. Ray Royale, welcome to the Chop Session. Not your first time chopping it up with me, but first time for this series. The focus is on you, sir, and your career and your story. Hey, what's good, y'all? Happy Wednesday night. This is your man, the indefinable Sterling Golden, taking this time tonight to say thank you to the SMC squad for this 2020 SMC honor for Best Podcast. I appreciate y'all. You know, it's kind of a funny thing, though. It wasn't until 2019 when I finally joined the ranks of the podcasting industry, 10 years after my career started. Of course, I had done DJing, radio, event planning, content creation, and just disrupting the Boston scene in general. But, you know, even though you're late to the party, in this case, the podcasting party, somebody out there still wants to honor you for those contributions. But those contributions did not come on my own, you guys, okay? I want to say thank you and big love to Miss Tiara Life, Jules, John Afrobeats, and Whitney Oddie, and of course, our Season 2 squad, I see ya, Francine Makua, and Pollyanna, and to all y'all worldwide who lock in for the podcast each and every week. The best is yet to come, I know. It's a cliche, you guys, but if it's this situation. Anyway, big thank yous to Somerville Media Center. I will see all y'all soon in 2021. Yeah, man, you know, onward and upward. That's what it's all about. You're never too late to become the person you are capable of being. Stay grateful and stay golden, you guys. Keep the faith in Sterlingtology you can trust. And thank you once again to the SMC.
Hello, Somerville. My name is Ed Halloran, and welcome back to the Somerville Labor Show. It's been quite a while now. Jude and I have been on hiatus, but we are back.
That 2016 election was really important because originally we were seen primarily as students, not as workers. So prior to that, a school could voluntarily recognize the union, but they weren't required to recognize our union. So that 2016 decision was really instrumental in actually our being able to hold a vote to form a union initially.
So this kind of swayed back and forth in a win with Republicans
it's been going
and
back
Democrats.
and forth. So I think, you know, if Hillary Clinton was in the White House right now, we wouldn't be having this rule change.
In reality, when I went to college, I was like, I'm done with Somerville. I want to move.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay here a couple years. And then a couple years has now been 20. And, you know, and then along the way, it is really more of, oh, that's not right. We should fix, somebody should do something about this. Oh, that's somebody is me, because if I don't do something, because if I don't jump in, why should I expect somebody else to jump in on that?
Yeah.
So, so then I get involved. Sometimes I think it is leading, sometimes it is following.
It's addictive, man.
I'm
telling you, it's an addiction.
It is.
name is Ed Hallen. I am the producer of, and I'm also the host of the Summer Labor Show. And I have to tell everybody out there, we're really honored to have, to be named the best show with Somerville Media Center in Somerville here. It's really been amazing. There's no show without these tremendous interns and staff that they have there with Joe Lynch and Tina and everybody. So I want to thank everybody very much for that. I also want to thank our technical director, Jude Sylvain. The music that you hear, Jude does a lot of editing, so the music that you hear going in and out in the shows, Jude has, we have the Hallen Trio, and if you can see that poster right behind me, Armageddon, these are three brothers that came out of Somerville, and just tremendous sound that they gave us, and we really appreciate what they've done for us. Also, Greg Hill, thank you very much for finding all of these wonderful guests that we've had in this third season. I also have to thank my wife, Lisa, who's helped me with some technical assisting when we were doing a lot of these shows remotely. Also, this award is in recognition that we're reaching out to labor and people who struggle with bad bosses every day. They're known in our world as the bad actors of labor. And we will continue to deal with that and expose those bad actors. The show has really evolved, and it's not only about unfair labor, but it's also about the economic, social, and racial justice that our country is experiencing like never before. And this is really what we're pushing for. Finally, I must thank all of my friends in labor from the Somerville Stands Together. They're made up of community act, building trade, municipal unions. They stand against the injustices and work to help shape Somerville into the community where everyone can live. And in closing, I also want to say that this award is extra special to us because as producers at SMC, we never knew what was coming. But we were able to make this transition when COVID-19 hit, and we produced some wonderful shows that covered special people who gave all of themselves, whether it be by hand-making masks. There was also delivering food to the elderly. And, Donna Kelly Williams with the nurses, with the protective, protective equipment that they were experiencing, distressed over that. We also discussed how this pandemic has cruelly treated people of color and those compromised. And I want to thank Diane Wong for a wonderful job doing on one of those shows. I turn it over to you, Greg Hill, and I apologize for going long.
Thank you, Ed. As assistant producer or director, I was initially attracted to the Somerville Labor Show as a longtime labor activist. I was greatly impressed by the breadth and the depth that Ed was undertaking for Somerville labor, not only just labor, but labor in the context of the community. The breadth and depth of the various guests that we have engaged is pretty amazing. We've covered so many relevant issues that are critical to working people. And Ed has just touched the top of the iceberg, and we still continue to produce throughout the pandemic, and we will continue to do so with Ed's leadership and also with the assistance of our great tech, Jude Sylvain. Again, we are honored to accept this, and when we fight, we win.